Hello. Today I'm going to be reviewing Nick Offerman's new book, Gumption, Relighting the Torch of Freedom with America's Gutsiest Troublemakers. So this is the second book by comedian and author Nick Offerman. His first book was like a memoir slash guide to living an awesome life called Paddle Your Own Canoe. And it's great. I read that. It's fantastic. This just came out in the end of May, the very end of May. Anyway, it is a list, or it's not a list, it's 21 people in American history who Mr. Offerman considers to exemplify the spirit of gumption and what makes America great. And it's split into three parts. The first part is the Freemasons, consisting of George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, James Madison, and Frederick Douglass. The second part are the Idealists, with Theodore Roosevelt, Frederick Law Olmsted, Eleanor Roosevelt, Tom Laughlin, Wendell Berry, Barney Frank, Yoko Ono, and Michael Pollan. And part three are the Makers, with Thomas Lee Nelson, Nat Benjamin, George Nakashima, Carol Burnett, Jeff Tweedy, George Saunders, Laurie Anderson, Willie Nelson, and number 21, Conan O'Brien. And then there's a short epilogue, and it also gives like a list of further reading by subject. So, Mr. Offerman is most well known for his role as Ron Swanson on the show Parks and Recreation, which is hilarious, and a lot of Ron Swanson is informed by Nick Offerman, at least in like the woodworking and just the kind of no-nonsense demeanor. But this guy's hilarious, and his writing, you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it, because it's a mix of kind of conversational humor, where you can tell he's intelligent, but sometimes he hides that underneath coarse language or whatever. But I really found this to be an interesting read, both informative. It told me a lot about certain people that I would never have known about otherwise, and I could see how he linked all these people together. And as an intellectual endeavor, I think this is really interesting as well, to find a quality that you believe is quintessentially important to people, and then finding a way to link all these different people based on that quality. They're highly entertaining reading. I went through it really fast, and every chapter, it's really nice because every chapter has he gives you a little backstory on the person. He also gives you the reasons why he believes that person exemplifies the thing, and they each have their own cool little portrait. As you can see there, you got George Washington number 1, and they all have a title. You have like the father. Let's see if we can find another. We'll go to like the middle. Yeah. Yoko Ono, the artist. And some of them are really funny. You have some good ones in here. But it's definitely, here's my favorite. Oh. Theodore Roosevelt, the bull moose. So yeah. Highly entertaining book, really funny. I would go buy it because I think Nick Offerman is a good blend person. And I want him to write more books. Especially maybe more books toned at subjects like this, as opposed to more memoir. His memoir is really good. It's not really a memoir, it's like a memoir slash guide to living, but humorous, you know. This, I like that he went on this whole little trip for himself. And I really appreciate his writing, so I highly suggest checking it out. I know I repeated myself a bunch. Actually, I'm going to read part. I'm just going to pick a part at random. We'll read from the introduction. How does one compile a list of great Americans? It's an embarrassment of riches. To narrow the field, I decided to begin with my choice for number 1. I imagine, or at least I would hope, that most of our citizenry would agree by an overwhelming percentage that the first person landing upon this list is no, not Ray Kroc, the progenitor of the McShit sandwich. No, not Miley Cyrus or Beyonce Knowles or even Oprah Winfrey. Jesus, goddamn, no, people, not Jesus. Yes, he was reportedly a super cool guy, but he just doesn't qualify as an American. I am referring, of course, to George Washington, the father of our country. I want to note that, of all the possible subjects, he easily sprang to mind first, based merely on my foggy grade school knowledge of his life's achievements in helping to create our republic and then sticking around to lead it as our nation's first president. Plus, he had wooden teeth. I'm a woodworker. Slam dunk, a sports metaphor, specifically basketball, meaning that the point or points has or have been scored emphatically. That's kind of like a light example of his style of humor, but yeah. So anyway, I gave, I think, 4 stars to the book on Goodreads, but check it out. It's very funny and worth your time. As always, happy reading and have a good life.